Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Zachary Schleck, your personal finance coach, and I'm coming at you today with my single biggest tip for budgeting successfully for anybody, regardless of your stream of income. Now, this is literally what kicked off my wife's and my 3-year journey of paying $10,000 cash for our wedding, paying off around $70,000 of debt, while cash flowing my wife through nursing school, and putting a down payment on our first home, and having a kid. Are you ready for it? You spend the money that you make this month, next month. So this means that any paychecks that you receive this month, you don't touch them. They go right into a savings account to be used next month. Now, this is the concept that had to click for me to start budgeting successfully for the first time ever, and to stop living paycheck to paycheck, and to stop using a credit card throughout the month and not even being able to pay it off until I receive my next paycheck. So in this video, I'm going to go over how it works, advantages and disadvantages to doing this, pitfalls to watch out for, one exception to the rule, and how to get started. Stay tuned. Now, like I said at the beginning, this tip can be followed by anybody. It doesn't matter if you're an hourly employee or if you're salaried or salaried with overtime, or even if you're freelance or just work odd jobs. It doesn't matter if you get paid weekly or every other week or monthly. Literally just any paycheck that you receive during this month, you have to save it and spend it next month. Now, let's see what that actually looks like. Let's say you get paid $2,000 on the first and third Friday of each month. Each time that paycheck hits your checking account, you immediately transfer it to a separate savings account. Then, when you're wrapping up the current month's finances and preparing for the next month, you have the exact amount already sitting in savings waiting to be budgeted and transferred back into your checking account to begin the month. Or, let's say you work freelance and get paid maybe $1,000 on the 5th, $800 on the 8th, $1,500 on the 15th, and $1,100 on the 24th. Basically, just random amounts on random dates. Whatever the timing is of your paychecks, if the paychecks come in this month, they get saved for next month. Now, there are a couple of big advantages to doing it this way. One is that you know exactly how much money you have for the month to budget. So you don't either end up coming short and being stressed, or you end up with more than you thought, and that extra money essentially just ends up getting wasted because you don't have a plan for it. And the other big advantage is that you physically have the money that your budget for the month is based on. And your budget isn't based on expected future paychecks that you haven't even received yet. And this just gives you confidence and peace of mind having the exact amount of money sitting in your checking account on the first of the month. Now, the only disadvantages that I see to this, which in my opinion are really small compared to the advantages, are that it requires patience and planning to do it this way. And there's a sense of delayed gratification, especially if you're working a bunch of extra hours or picking up a bunch of extra jobs, because those bigger paychecks will have to be saved and used next month, and you can't spend it right away. Now, one exception to the rule that I see as worthwhile is if you're trying to pay down debt and you have a secondary source of income. So let's say either your spouse works or you have a side gig or multiple side gigs, and you have debt that you're trying to pay down and you want to put 100% of those secondary sources of income towards the debt, then just take those paychecks as soon as you get them and put them into debt. Now, I wouldn't do this same method if you have a bigger savings goal. Like, let's say you have a big vacation coming up next summer, or you want to save for Christmas this coming year. I would not take those secondary sources of income and put 100% of those into their own savings account for whatever that is. I would still, once you're out of debt, I would still take all of the income that you make and put it into savings to budget it next month. And from there, you can take however much you want to save for those bigger goals. By doing this, you're still able to contribute to retirement out of those paychecks, as well as if you're in the habit of giving to charity or tithing, that will also come out of those paychecks. If you just take them and directly put them into a bigger savings goal, you're missing out on the retirement savings and the giving aspect. So the big question is, how do you actually get started doing this method? Essentially, you have to save the equivalent of 1 month's total income to get started, or at least enough to cover your basic necessities for 1 month. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Let's go back to the $2,000 twice per month example. This person is used to living off of $4,000 per month, but maybe only $3,000 of that is for necessities: food, housing, utilities, transportation, and insurance. So the goal is to save at least $3,000 as quickly as possible. If this person is making $4,000 a month but can live off of $3,000, he should be able to save close to $1,000 per month and reach his goal in about 3 months. Once that $3,000 is saved after 3 months, that will be the money that is budgeted and spent for month number 4. And at this point, you're there. You can take the full paychecks from that 4th month and put them into savings to be used the following month. And at that point, it will even feel like you got a $1,000 raise. So let's take a less generous example. Let's say you only make $3,000 a month and it all goes towards necessities. If you can squeeze out even $300 a month, you'll have your normal monthly income of $3,000 saved in 10 months. And any extra money that you make can help speed that timeline up, even if that means selling stuff, because let's be honest, we all have way too much stuff. Now again, why does this method even work at all? I know for a fact from my own experience, as well as multiple people that I've helped, that doing this will increase the likelihood of even creating a monthly budget to begin with, and of being successful at it, as well as helping you to stay out of debt. So I hope that all of this made sense to you. If you do have any questions or comments, absolutely leave those down below, and I will try to respond to those as quickly as I can. And I appreciate you watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button for more videos about all things personal finance, and I'll see you on the next video.